What's up, YouTube?
Yes, sir. What's going on, guys? Real Deal Kill in the building. Back again with another video. Trying to get back on track once again. Today, I have another special guest. My boy Liam.
What's up?
AKA Lightning.
That's me.
Sir.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Always. Background story on me and Liam. We've been friends for a long time now.
Since
what?
sophomore year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like 16. Kind of funny how it worked out. We all just had the same lunch and then it started kicking it from there.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I remember the we did this thing where like we would all throw each other's trash away. Like we would do the nose game.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah. And I was always last. I always came in last, like no matter what. It sucked. We all had a bunch of food, so
right.
It's like I couldn't
we would
do it
just
in one
stack up
trip.
a tray
and I'm just like, oh, low-key the garbage man right now. Since me and Liam, we've been friends for 11, 12 years. That's what our topic is today, man. Just friendships, man, because I think they're very important. It's not just us, of course. We have a whole crew. I'm pretty sure y'all seen them on videos. If not, I gotta get y'all. We all gotta do one for the one time.
Have we not all been on one?
Trying to think. You've been on one. Spencer's been on one. Nikki was on one.
We've all just been like, in the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only one. No, that's the only one.
We gotta have our Avengers of the Akil
right.
YouTube channel.
Right. But yeah, man, so get into it. Be sure to like the video, comment, subscribe. This is gonna be another long one. So, buckle your seatbelts in, get some snacks, get some drinks, do what you do, and enjoy the ride. So let's get into it. Let's start at the fountain. How do people become friends?
I think there's a lot of different ways people can become friends. I think that it was like maybe a lot easier like when we became friends because like you were surrounded by all these people your age and you were just kind of inevitably going to talk to somebody. But like it's really just like initiating conversation with somebody, and like after that, like either you'll like them and become friends, or maybe they don't vibe with you, and that's okay too. Like
I'll just go or separate.
Yeah.
I agree with that too. And then for my instance, like y'all knew each other, like you, Mel, Nikki, and Spencer. And I think I just knew Nikki and Spencer at the time. But it also helps, like when you're in a group, you have people around you too that because it makes you more comfortable in that setting.
I'll say that like I know Nikki and Spencer were like really close, but like whenever like we had that table of us, like that's when I became really close with them and like with everybody there. Like I think they were really close and I like knew them, and I didn't really become friends with them until like we were all sitting together there.
Yeah.
Because like that's when we really became friends.
Yeah. We had a lot of conversations. And then of course we like started hanging out outside of the lunch table. We were like, and then what's crazy is we all lived relatively close to each other.
That was great.
Yeah, like we all lived relatively close. Like you were here, Nikki was over here, Spencer's like right here, and then I was across. And then even Mel was just like down the road. So it was like we were all like, outside of Melanie, we were all pretty much walking distance to each other's houses. So. Nikki's house, that was always the meetup spot. We would always go.
That was like the central spot too. It was like between all of our houses was like Nikki's.
Yeah, because I could cut through Spencer's neighborhood, meet him there, and then we'll just take like that back lot.
The back lot,
yeah. So good times, man. Good times. But yeah, I think that's the main thing though, like you said, is just starting that conversation with people, and you either like them or you don't, and vice versa. Either they like you or they don't. Do you think it can be hard to make friends?
I think that some people it's easier than it is for others. Like some, especially maybe now, like you have to initiate that conversation, whether it be like at work or like somewhere else. Like you have to make the first step maybe sometimes, or other people will just kind of like talk to you and become friends that way.
Yeah, it's definitely like meeting somewhere where there's like a common interest for sure, like sports teams or like how we went to the Tim the Tap Man thing. Like certain events, like it's easier to make friends than other because y'all have an icebreaker automatically. Like the icebreaker is, oh,
Like,
we're both
why
here.
you're there,
Yeah,
yeah.
why are we here? Like, and what do we do? And then
That
we just
happens
go
at
from
like
there.
concerts too. Like everybody you're surrounded with, you all have that one common interest. So
We
it makes it like
watching this person.
it's easier to like make friends that way.
Yeah, to like segue.
Yeah.
I think with the way the world is becoming now, more like social media and just like more less interpersonal, you know?
Hmm.
Everything's more like surrounded by like communicating through our phones, through our, especially our phones, but like on like through text messages, whether it be through DMs and stuff. I feel like it's kind of harder for people to make friends in person, you know? Because I feel like sometimes if you're not like, if you don't communicate with people in person, it kind of like messes with you, you know?
Yeah, yeah, because like especially with like the climate after the pandemic is like for years it was like, oh, don't go anywhere, stay away from people, and like maybe that kind of like made us everybody a recluse in that way where
Yeah.
like you weren't making friends, and then now it's like you said, to your point, like social media, you're not really seeing people outside of like your inner circle on social media,
Yeah.
and you're not really, well, at least for me, I'm not really going outside of the zones that I usually go to be able to meet new people.
Yeah.
So like I haven't made a new friend in a while. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, and then another thing too is like, you know, we're older now. It seems like when you get older, you know, for my people watching this, you know, you kind of have your established, you viewer, if you're, you know, you're still in high school, maybe college, it's gonna be a little harder to make friends, but that's because like you already have like your friend group set.
Right, but like I don't know. I feel like if you're like in the mindset of like making friends, like you could do it so easily because like people think that, at least yourself thinks that your first impression usually is like, oh, they didn't like me because maybe I was awkward or something. But
Yeah.
usually people aren't thinking about like that. They're thinking about, oh, that guy was really cool, or she was awesome, stuff like that. So
Shoot, and they also could be thinking about like how they
exactly.
react.
Oh, I really hope this person. You're both
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
that,
Exactly.
but like really, you're cool with each
Yeah,
other.
because ultimately it comes down to the same premise, right? Like, oh, like I enjoyed their conversation. They both seem cool. That's like the mutual agreement between two parties, or whoever. How many people? Maybe it's a group. Maybe it's just one or two people, or whatever the case may be. You come to that conclusion, like at the end of the conversation or the end of the time you're hanging out, like, oh man, they're really cool. Like at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like, but there's an upside to that too, like the whole social media, and then like, I feel like you're able to, or just the internet in general, really is like, I feel like you're able to make more friends at like a wider scale, you know? You could like be cool with somebody that you'll probably never meet in person.
Well, yeah.
Or like, and then what's funny is like, you could like, you know, we've gamed before. Like
exactly.
I've been out with a couple of my friends, and what's funny is they had like, they were gaming with this guy for like years.
Yeah.
And they bought him out, and he came to Dallas, first time ever.
Really?
And everything. And they're
That's
like,
so
yeah.
cool.
And he wanted to be cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean,
they've been gaming with him for a while, so
True.
like they know him, but like it's cool that you can make friends through that kind of medium. Like I know that Discord, I joined a Discord of like mutual friends and met people through that Discord that I had never met before, but would game with them like every night, play Fortnite, and like when Among Us was out, play that. So like it's interesting the way that friendships form, because it really happen anywhere.
Yeah, they really can. It's just a matter of putting yourself in a position to, you know, potentially make friends. Like,
yeah, go into like open-mindedness, and like if you want to make friends, like just be friendly, talk to somebody.
Yeah, and like now, like I feel like everything, like everybody, I won't say everybody, but I feel like the world's more accepting of things, whether you want to accept them or not.
Right.
Yeah. But like that, but it's cool though. Like, you know, you have your people, like, you know, you have people that like anime, video games, whatever the case may be. Like, there's a community for everybody.
Yeah.
And you just have to be willing to, you know, walk on out of
Right.
there.
And that's one of the things, like, I'm not on Facebook, but one of the things I think about is like, I'm missing out on not being on Facebook is like there's community pages.
Yeah.
That like if your interests, you can just like join that page and like there's a meetup or they're going out and something like that, and like they don't have that not on Facebook.
No, they don't. They don't have their own really on
Yeah.
Twitter or anything. I feel like it'd be super
I think
toxic if they had it on Twitter.
Reddit has it, but it's like
Reddit,
weird.
Reddit is super toxic too.
Yeah.
What are some qualities in a person that like you would want to have, like you or people that you would consider friends?
For me, it's always like friendliness and like kindness, really, and like I don't know. I don't really see a lot of like core values across the board, but like just like good personality and conversationalism. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, I could agree with that too. I think just because cool thing about like friendships is like, especially when you're like super close with, like, you know, like how me and you are, like how our whole group is, like we can have like conversations about things, like we can always like feel like we're friends. I think it's important to like have conversations where you could like agree to disagree, because that's how like you could really gauge your friendship, you know. Because
I feel like that's half of me and Spencer's conversation.
It really is, because I just see y'all have disagreements about like, you know, oh my gosh.
Oh,
Superman and Goku.
Yes.
That's like the main one. And I just hear y'all and I'm just like
digital versus disc.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
But it's like at the end of the day, it's like y'all know y'all are cool. Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing personal. It's just dialogue.
At the time, I'm just being contrarian and like just messing around. But like I do like, it's fun to have those conversations where like you're both disagreeing on something but can like debate it.
Yeah. Definitely, that's key too. And then like also with like the honesty, or like good personality. I think honesty is part of that.
Yeah.
And then like being trustworthy, of course. And then like I think another value of like a good friend that I would consider is like, you know, just being able to, you know, just keep it real with me, you know, like being able to say like, hey, like I don't think you should do this just because I don't think it will like benefit you or any way, or it could harm you or something, you know. And you know, there's definitely been times where like I could have been in situations, and if one thing I'll never forget was when you, Nikki, and Liam, or no, you are Liam.
I was there.
You, Nikki, and Spencer like came to Whataburger that one time because you thought like it was it when we were in high school? And we were like, you thought that we were gonna fight, and then y'all were there, and you're like, yeah, hey, we're here, we got your back.
Yeah.
And I was like, I appreciate that. It was a long
that.
time. Yeah, it was a while ago.
Wow.
It was like real quick though, but it's like stuff like that, and then being able to like have like real honest conversations, like if you're thinking about something like something big for your life or something that you want to do, like, you know, being able to encourage, and then like also just like telling, like I said, like just telling people that, telling me or whoever the person is, like, hey, like I don't think you should do that. Like,
I always like believe in like challenging your friends, and like I would want my friends to challenge me on like decisions or things that I'm doing, because like friends can always be the ones to like make your mind clear, snap you out of like a funk or something like that. So like I would always support my friends like calling me out on shit, because I would do it too. Yeah.
And that's really important, because like, you know, you have your friends that are just like, you have your yes men's or yes women that just want to tell you what you want to hear, and it's like, and sometimes that's not the most beneficial to you.
No.
And it's just important that, you know, of course you want them to encourage you and help you, you know, see the other side, because, you know, sometimes we can be so not closed-minded, but so stuck on something that we don't see the other possibilities.
You need an outside opinion.
Yeah, to really see all the perspectives before you make a decision. So I think like having those friends, having that community really is important, because, you know, it's necessary, because you may think of going one way, but maybe this way may be better for you, you know? Yeah.
Do you think that you can stay friends with somebody who you haven't spoken to in a while? Like,
what's a while?
Okay, say like a year. Like, say you haven't spoken to this person, but like they like hit you up and like, hey, want to hang out? Like, do you think you'd be friends with them?
Yeah, for sure. It depends. Also, like, what was our relationship? Like, how was our friendship prior to that, because like if we used to be really close, and I understand like life happens.
Right,
like
right.
I could have moved, you could have moved for
And
school.
that's
or
my
whatever the
thinking
case.
from like the question is like people moving away or like getting really busy, and like for me it's like I understand like
Yeah,
life happens. It's not like I've stopped being your friend. It's just like you're still my friend. We just don't like see each other a lot.
yeah.
But like once we get together, it's like
We just pick up back
Yeah.
where we left off, and then as we get older, it's like we're gonna have more responsibilities, and then like if we wanna get married and start families, like that's another obligation that we have. Like
yeah.
there's just certain things that just life
Shout
as
out
you
Mel,
get older.
congratulations.
Yeah, Mel, to your engagement and marriage and all those prosperous things. I know there's some people out there that may take it personal when it's like, oh, like you didn't do this, you didn't do that. But it's like, dude, like I'm an adult, you're an adult. At a certain age, really after high school, like you gotta let that shit
Right.
go. You gotta like life
people
just
going off to
happens.
college. It's
Yeah, like life happens,
Yeah.
and sometimes it happens earlier to people earlier than expected. Some people out of high school got to go straight into work to do what they got to do to help their family, maybe help themselves get out of a situation. People go away to school, military, like just a bunch of stuff, So
Military, yeah.
I don't think you should never hold it personal when your friends you don't see or you don't talk to your friends for a while, because we have lives, that's simple as that. And I think that's really selfish that when people think like, because you don't talk to me, you don't do this, you don't do that. It's like, dude, like my world doesn't revolve around you,
Right.
Like just like you have your own life, I have my own life too. And if you think that I'm just always gonna just be here to hang out with you and all, and I can't.
Yeah, and I mean like I would never be like offended if somebody was like, no, I can't like hang out or like this because I got work, or like it's just really no excuses fine by me. It's just like, okay, cool, like because I'm never gonna be like, oh, you didn't hang out with me, so I'm never gonna hang out with you again or anything like that, because I just feel like we're past all of that.
Yeah, it's like
at this
just
point.
be mature about it, It's like if you don't want to hang out, it's just like, I mean, sometimes shit, I change my mind. Maybe I feel like doing something, and then like later on I'm like, I don't really want to do it, and then I'm like, hey, like I know I said I would, but I don't really want to.
And from like my perspective, like sometimes it's like, like I have plans and I'm gonna do it, but like maybe I'm not feeling it, and then they're like, oh yeah, I can't go. I'm like,
yeah, sometimes it works. And you're
Let's
just
go.
like, yes, that's like the best way, because you don't want to let anybody down, but then at the same time, it's like I don't want to do it. That's always the best way. That just falls through. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that. Like, I think friendships just, if it's a real friendships, if your friendships are real, if the connections are real, like it doesn't matter the amount of time that you haven't talked to somebody. You just pick up where you left off. It shouldn't matter. I mean, for some people it does, but it really shouldn't matter.
I feel like for some people, it's like they may get in their own heads like, oh, does this person like not like me? Like, why are they not talking to me? When in reality, it's just like they're really busy or they got stuff going on in their life and they don't want to say anything. But it's not anything against another person. It's just with them. And so like I feel like some people can get in their heads about it, but
it is what it is. Okay, so do you think that, because like I think I'm lucky, I'm super lucky, super blessed to have like friends like y'all, like been there.
Oh, you're blessed to have a friend like you, man.
Yeah, man. Give a round of applause, guys. But no, I'm really blessed to have friends like y'all, because I know a lot of people don't. Yeah. And sometimes, people may be like, oh, some people have a lot of friends, but I don't think it's more about like the quality of your relationships than your friendships, than how many people that you have, because just because you have a lot of people that you consider friends, that doesn't mean they're quality people. You have quality relationships with them. And I feel like a lot of people just I don't know. Like, there's just, I think people use the term friend very loosely,
Yeah.
where it's like maybe they're not friends, but they're more of an acquaintance, kind of, you know?
Right. I feel like I do use it loosely. Like I'll say like, oh yeah, like they're my friends, even though I've met them a couple times and hung out with them a couple times, but it was always like through a mutual friend.
Yeah.
But like it was never like a bad experience where I wouldn't say like, oh yeah, we're friends, but I wouldn't say we're like good friends. I
Yeah.
guess is the next level, because it's
Yeah.
like acquaintance is like, oh yeah, I know this person, but like
That's it.
and then
yeah.
like maybe I've hung out with a couple people a couple times, but we're not like super close or anything.
Yeah.
But it's still like it's a fun time to hang out.
Yeah.
And then it's like people you hang out regularly with.
And those would be your friends. But I mean, like, I think like everybody, even myself, like I use it loosely too. But I think everybody use it as a generic term,
Right.
just kind of just to describe somebody. Like, oh, like
Yeah.
we're cool with, you know, like, oh, that's my friend, like.
I'll say it to a stranger, like, thanks, friend.
Yeah. It's like, thanks,
Like,
buddy.
yeah.
You know, like something common like that. But I don't. Yeah. I mean, if we're going by definition, then like, because I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, because like you said, acquaintance is somebody you just
Yeah.
know. Like, you don't really know. You know them, but you don't know them.
And I think it goes with like the term the inner circle. Like you have your close circle of friends.
Yeah.
With, like you know who they are, and then it's like then there's like an outer circle where it's like the people that you know and like you always have fun times with, but you're
Mhm.
not like consistently hanging out, but you'll see them.
Yeah.
Which is like the outer circle, I guess, not the inner circle.
Yeah.
So.
And then you have those. Then you have acquaintances,
right,
and then you have strangers.
just surround you.
Yeah, right. That's just that's the biggest,
Yeah.
the biggest hole of people. But no, I think, a lot of people would benefit from having like solid friendships, man. Because I think it's just important to have those people just,
Yeah.
you know, outside. Because there may be, you know, there's people out here that may not have, they consider their friends their family. You know, they may not have the best situation in terms of with their family, like their immediate family, but like they always know, like they can always call up one of their friends or call up the group or whatever the case may be, and they're there for them when they need them to be. Which I think is important. It sucks that people just don't get to experience that, and I think like, man, coming up like as a kid, like high school, middle school, those are really like, even college, like those are really important years to like find your people, you know?
Right.
Because like if you don't find them, it's kind of hard after that, because you really have to make an effort to meet people once
Right.
you get out of high school, because not everybody goes to college.
Mm-hmm.
College isn't guaranteed, but you know, college is just another level where you can meet more people. But once you get out into let's just say the real world,
Mhm.
like it's hard to meet people.
Yeah, and I think that I think we said that like it was a lot easier to kind of meet and talk to people in school because you were always surrounded by it. But like now, as we are getting older, it's like you have to kind of make an extra effort. Like if you like meet somebody and you're really cool with them, you're not going to see them again unless you make the effort. It's not like you see them at first period tomorrow. It's like you have to say like, hey, let's link up, like let's go get drinks.
Go to lunch. Whatever.
Something like that, because like if you really want to like build a friendship, you kind of have to put the effort into.
Yeah, you always have to. Yeah, even coming up in school, like I feel like friendships happen more organically, but they still take some effort, because you still got to be like, hey, like, bro, you're like, you know, you're cool.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's hang out sometime. Let's do this. Let's do that. Yeah. So it takes effort, at that stage, but absolutely when you get older, you have to make more of an effort. Like, you know, discover what you like. I would say just leverage your interest. Right.
Yeah.
Leverage your interest. If you're struggling having friends out there, leverage your interest to meet people. Like if you know you're into gaming, you know, find people that are into gaming.
Yeah. I mean, we said at Discord, if you like any kind of gaming, there's always a Discord for that, and you'll find people.
And you'll definitely meet people where you live at. Like it's just bound to happen. And then like, you know, you like working out. Like you'll meet people at the gym easy, whether it's like you're on the weight floor or you're playing basketball, you do classes. Like you'll meet people. It's just a matter of building that connection, building that that rapport with somebody and then making an effort to be like, hey, like, you know, you're cool. I want to get, you know, think we could be cool. Like, let's chop it up sometime or whatever the case.
And like, depending on where you meet somebody, it's like you already have that common interest of like being there. Yeah. Whether it's like at the gym or like playing basketball, just like anywhere, like you are there already. So you have that in common, and it's easy to break the ice that way if you're trying to like make new friends.
Definitely. I feel like a lot of times too, it's like some people probably just have like terrible experiences with people, you know, like
I know
betrayal and whatever the case may be. But like some people have bad experiences. Like luckily, I haven't had too many, and I don't know about you. Have you had like any instances like that? Really?
Not recently. I feel like when I was younger, I had that experience and like stuck to a smaller circle and like have gotten better about it because like I've matured a lot more. Yeah. Because it was super just like childish stuff.
Yeah. Same. Like especially like younger, like stuff would happen like that where like somebody I thought we were cool with or people we thought we were cool with like do some foul stuff, and it's like, oh, like okay, like now I know. Yeah. You know,
like show their true colors.
And sometimes you really need to. Sometimes you really need to see that because you know some people are really good at putting up a facade and trying to manipulate their way into being close with you. So it's just, I won't say be guarded, but just be aware of that. You know, because I don't think you want to be guarded to where like you kind of shield people off and don't. And, you know, people are kind of you kind of repel people away from you, but you definitely want to be aware of, you know, how people move, you know, because I think they'll slip up, you know. Yeah. By, like, it may not be on purpose, but I think they'll slip up just accidentally, very subtle.
Yeah. Something I always I look for is like the transactional relationship in like just anything like friendship or anything else. Like if they are getting something out of a friendship or anything, then it's not like real, I guess.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Because it's like more of like a transaction. And so if anybody does anything like I can't think of an example, but like that's something that like I've noticed some people do, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, their friendships are strictly transactional. Yeah, and it's like the one thing I don't do something, it's like the end of the world. And it's like what's going on? Like they'll bring up stuff from the past, like oh I did this and that and that.
And that's what I'm saying about transactional. It's like I did this much, so I have this much credit against you because I gave you this many rides, but oh you won't give me this ride. And that's like it becomes like a currency.
Exactly. It's like no, it's not at all. Because like, if I can't do something for you, then I can't do something for you. You know, and it's not like I wouldn't want to. It's just like I just can't right now at this moment in time, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
But when it becomes a problem, then we have a problem.
Yeah, exactly. But overall, friendships are important. I think they're just a really good foundational piece for like building relationships, you know. Like if you have good friendships, I feel like that just carries on in other aspects of your life. Having good friendship is key, but having good friendships with the right people is most important.
And I think that like if you build friendships, like it's always going to be the right people, because like if you make the effort to have a really good deep friendship, then like both of you are going to come through for each other and be able to like help each other out with things, whether it's like mental or just like anything. Like we said, you need a ride, heck yeah.
When you got an idea that you can't quite seem to figure out, like,
or if you need advice on something,
just vent, like you just want to talk about
for real,
you know. So well, that's it, guys. You know, I hope y'all enjoyed this conversation. Like I said, I told you it's going to be long. But you know, Liam, thank you again, sir.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Till next time.
Yes, I will leave Liam's social medias in the link. Even though he doesn't go on there often, just check him out anyway.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Take it easy. Peace out, guys.